This is a G-wagon, and this is a race wagon. And today I'm here to answer a question that nobody has ever had. What does it take to turn a G-wagon into a race car? Let's get into it. And of course, the first step in turning a G-wagon into a race car is to get ourselves just a regular old G-wagon. And here we have our G-wagon. I ran through ChatGPT, had it list out all the specs of a standard G550 G-wagon with the V8. So I went ahead and copied all of those into automation as best I could. And so for testing, it should be as close to a real G-wagon as we can get. And design-wise, I got all the iconic features here. Of course, the body shapes of a G-wagon. It's got the Pan America grille, the big ground headlights, the vents, all the plastic trim. The door handles are the same, the lights are the same. It's pretty much all here, except for the interior, which, again, I just threw in the essentials for testing. So I figured since we're going to make this a race car, we're going to end up throwing that all out anyway. And so let's go ahead and get started and transform this thing into a track monster. Oh, first order of business, let's go ahead and throw out this old interior and put in a new stripped out version. And now that we got our interior looking like a race car, we gotta fix this exterior. Just don't get me wrong, the G-Wagon looks great, but we gotta streamline some things down. And here's our finished design. It's not my best work, but everything is pretty functional, and that's the whole point of a race car, We got bigger vents, big scoop, for more airflow to our engine so we can make more power. Big splitter, big diffuser, big wing, all the aero stuff you need. Big old cage in the inside for safety. It's all streamlined down the edge as good as you can get in a G-Wagon. And so now all we gotta do is just build up the engine, build up, all the suspension components and all that, just to make it handle like an actual race car. Alright, so I went ahead and built up the engine as best I could. We're looking at almost 1100 horsepower, and we could make that if we increase the rev limit. But I think 10,000 is honestly plenty. And so let's go ahead and listen to it. Yeah, it's a race car, alright. Okay, let's go ahead and just build up the suspension and just tune the rest of the car, and then I will export it into BeamNG. Before we go ahead and look at that monstrosity, let's go ahead and just start with the regular old G-Wagon. Of course, anyone familiar with their lineup, this is going to be like a G550 model with the bi-turbo V8. Of course, Mercedes is a luxury brand first, so it's very lush, it's comfortable, even foot to the floor, it's smooth, it's quiet. It's everything a sports car should not be. Of course, big truck body, it's ladder on frame. Frame on ladder frame. Hold on. Ladder frame. It's steel. It's all big, heavy, bulky. Not aerodynamic. It's not super maneuverable either. Oh no, no, no. I was gonna say it's an absolute tank, but that's gonna hurt. Okay, now the race wagon. You guys have already gotten a glimpse of what's inside of this thing, so I'm just going to drive it and let you guys see what it's made of. Of course, 1100 horsepower, it's an absolute rocket, so I'm just going to put my foot down See what it can do. See how well it can handle its speed here. Of course, it's all-wheel drive, but it's still body on frame, ladder chassis, and it's still shaped like a brick. You got a huge front lip and a wing on the back, so it should handle pretty good. Oh, come on. No, not again. Not again. Not again. Look, it's still a tank. That's all I'm saying. This might be better than a race car, because it can take a hit and keep going. NASCAR, I have an idea. Okay, let's try and get a top speed run here real quick. Turn is coming up real shortly. It's like 229. Okay. 229 is all she's got. Okay, let's just get these two on the track and see how this thing does. The whole point of the video anyway. Alright, here we are on Hirochi Raceway. And if you guys caught my last video, I made an 80s Italian sports car that ran this in about a minute 18. Which was a terrible lap because that thing could not handle at all. And so let's see if this thing can even get close. Just a base model G-wagon. Here we go. I think it's only fair to do this in drive. That's what the average soccer mom would do, right? Tons of understeer. I put it in sport mode. Here we go. Understeer is crazy. Fortunately, it has good brakes, but it handles like an absolute brick. Just turn in. I could use the grass to drift. This thing is terrible. Oh my god, I'm trying. I'm really trying with this one. Hard brake here. Yep, trail braking does nothing for this car. I don't know if the wheels are like rubbing on something, if I like placed a fixture wrong. This thing will not turn. God. You'd think 40 miles per hour is not very fast. Like, I know a G-wagon can do that in real life. So it's the limitations of the game, or I built the car terribly wrong. I don't know. Go ahead and take this at like 50 because that's all I can do. So I can get on the gas early. Alright, let's see what kind of time we're making in this thing. $1:26. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's go ahead and see how much faster the race wagon can go. Okay, here we are. Now this thing was not purpose built, but it was purposely modified just to do a good lap on this track. Let's go ahead and just put her all into it and see what she's got. I think we're gonna go ahead and do this in drive, just for control reasons. Of course, because I maybe could have gone faster in the regular G-wagon if I wasn't in drive. Let's go ahead and do this. And already it's miles faster. It's just got so much more grip in the corners. You can carry so much more speed. Still, it's all-wheel drive, it's big, it's heavy, it's ladder frame. So we still do got to be careful in the corners for understeer. Definitely try a lot more trail braking. We're gonna cut the course as we did in the last one. No other reason, surely. Okay. Still, even though this thing can corner a lot faster, we still need to make sure we're cornering at a reasonable speed. Don't get too confident in it because it still does understeer, as you guys can see there. She is still all over the place. Sometimes the aerodynamics of a brick are just gonna do what they do. Anyways, let's see what kind of time this is. And here we are, a 106.4. You know, it looks like it takes an extra, what was it, 700 horsepower, you know, race tires and purpose-built suspension and everything else, just to shave 20 seconds off a G-Wagon. This was not worth it. Hey, if you guys enjoyed, go ahead and like, subscribe, and tune in for more dumb automation ideas. Maybe next time we'll turn a G-Wagon into an airplane. Oh, it's gonna hurt.